Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best sports show in Kansas City. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio, where sports come alive. Join your hosts, the awesome voice, and Coach 24 as they dive into the latest sports news, analysis, and excitement. From the biggest games to the most thrilling moments, they've got it all covered. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an hour of unbeatable sports action. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Weekend Eve. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW. I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice, and behind the scenes, running the show, Mr. DJ Scatter, George Walker. Mr. Walker, how are you doing this evening?
Well, all right. I'm doing just fine and having a great time here with you tonight.
Absolutely. And Coach 24, Darwin Penny, is not here tonight, but I guarantee you he is enjoying where he is at better than he would be here. He is with his wife in Hawaii, enjoying some vacation time, some well-deserved vacation time. And I think I said something about that last week, but yeah, he is on a beach somewhere, kicking back. Hopefully he's listening to the show, but if he's not listening to the show, I totally understand and I totally get it. But man, I'd rather be there with him, but I know he wouldn't want me there.
What, you mean you'd leave me here by myself?
Yeah, I would leave you here by yourself, but I would be kind of a third wheel. But I could put you in a suitcase, and then we could both go together, and that would be all right. But I don't think he would enjoy that very much. So he is in Hawaii with his wife, Maria, and they are enjoying themselves and having a well-deserved vacation. And brother, you deserve it. So anyway, let's get into some sports. So the baseball awards have been going on all week long, and so they've had Rookie of the Year, they've had the Executive of the Year, they've had Cy Young Award winners, and just a few moments ago they've had the AL MVP and the NL MVP. But I'm going to start off with the Executive of the Year, and I still can't believe why J.J. Picollo didn't win it. But saying that, 45-year-old Matt Arnold, I couldn't see where I was looking at. 45-year-old Matt Arnold, who has been with the organization of the Milwaukee Brewers since 2015 when he was hired as a vice president and assistant general manager, got the position of full-time general manager in 2020 during the COVID year. He led Milwaukee to a 93 and 69 record and led them to the NL Central Division until they ended up losing in the playoffs. I believe it was to the New York Mets because they had a 3-0 leader, something like that, and the New York Mets hit a couple of home runs to kill their rally in the third game of the wild card series. But anyway, he won the Executive of the Year award. Second place went to J.J. Picollo, the general manager of the Kansas City Royals. So congratulations, J.J. You well deserved it. I still think that you should have won it, especially the way we have been the last several years as one of the worst teams in baseball, totally making a transformation and massive turnaround. And third place was Chris Antonetti, the general manager of the Cleveland Guardians. He took third place. So I congratulate those guys for their service and all three of those men deserve to win it, but obviously you can only get one, and it's not like the Players Awards where you have an NL award and an AL award. You have just one award for the executive of the year. Now, the Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year award, it went to in the National League. It went to Paul Skinks of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Luis Gill in the American League for the New York Yankees. So Paul won it for the Pirates in the National League. Luis Gill won it for the New York Yankees in the American League. And I'm going to get tired of hearing New York Yankees winning awards left and right. So anyway, congratulations to those guys for the Rookie of the Year. The Cy Young, Tarek Skubal of the Detroit Tigers, won the Cy Young Award, the American League Cy Young Award. Second place went to Seth Lugo, and fourth place went to Cole Reagans of the Kansas City Royals. So we had two Royals in the top four in the Cy Young Award ballot. So that is awesome, and they well deserved it. For the National League, it was Chris Sale of the Atlanta Braves, and he also won Comeback Player of the Year award for the National League too. So he won multiple awards. So congratulations to Chris on his accomplishments. Now the Comeback Player of the Year in the American League was the Chicago White Sox Garrett Crochet, a left-handed pitcher. Chris Sale is also a left-handed pitcher. So those guys definitely earned it. And then we go to the MVP voting. Like I said, it just happened just shortly before this show came on. And Aaron Judge was the ununanimous winner of the American League MVP. He had all first place votes. And I believe this is his second MVP voting that he has won. Bobby Witt Jr., though, of the Kansas City Royals, received all second place votes. So congratulations to Bobby Witt. Now, obviously, especially Royals fans, we would have thought that Bobby Witt Jr. would have won all of the won the MVP, but you cannot. I'm sorry to say, but home runs always beats whatever performance you get. I remember Joe DiMaggio not winning the MVP, and he had a 56-game winning streak in 1941. He lost it to Ted Williams, who hit for the Triple Crown. So it happened. So, but the fact that at least everybody voted for Bobby Witt Jr. And at least second place, I'll give him credit. And then third place was Juan Soto of also the New York Yankees. And right now, he is with his agent, Scott Boras, discussing on a new contract, which probably will supplant Ohtani's $600 million contract. He's talking with the Yankees. He's talking with the Mets. He's talking with the Dodgers. So the Dodgers, I hear, are really fighting hard to get Juan Soto to L.A. and take him away from the New York franchises. So, excuse me. And then Stephen Voigt of the American League Cleveland Guardians, who won the Central League or American League Central Division, was the American League Manager of the Year award. He had 142 votes. He had 27 first place votes out of 30. And Matt Quatraro from the Royals won the other three first place votes and had 73 total votes. And I'm sorry, when you can get a manager who can lead you after a year that they had last year and improve 30 games. Now, Stephen Vogt, he only improved from, I believe it was from like 78 to 93. So he only improved 15 games. Whereas Matt Quatraro improved twice as many as he did and took a perennial doormat in the Royals into a playoff team. And they had to deal with a lot of injuries towards the end of the season. They losing Vinny Pasquantino really hurt them, because I truly believe that if he did not get injured, the Royals would have overtaken the Guardians and would have won the Central Division, and they would have, and I would say Matt Quatraro would have won the Manager of the Year. So third place was A.J. Hinch of the Tigers. He had 41 total votes. Joe Espada from the Astros had 6 votes. Aaron Boone, for some ungodly reason for the Yankees, had 3 votes. And I'm sorry, they should not have had 3 votes. Mark Kosei of the Athletics had 3 votes. Rocco Baladelli from the Twins had 1, and Alex Cora of the Red Sox also had 1. So, but anyway, congratulations to him. And saying this, they won 92 games because they didn't play the last game of the season because of weather, and they just couldn't make it up. But they did have 76, so he improved 16 games and not 15 like I thought it was. So, but saying this, Pat Murphy of the Brewers, another Brewer winning a award, won National League Manager of the Year. So he was 65. He was the runaway 2024 Central. Won the NL Central by, I believe, 20 games it was. So that should tell you how much it was. So, and ironically, it was right after Craig Counsell had left Milwaukee the season before to portray his dream of managing for the Chicago Cubs. So, congratulations to Pat Murphy. I do have them. Pat Murphy had 27 first place votes also, had 144 points. Mike Schilt of the Padres had 1 first place vote and 70 total votes. Carlos Mendoza of the Mets had 1 first place vote and 35 total votes. Torey Luvolo of the Diamondbacks had 8 votes. Rob Thomason of the Phillies had the other first place vote and had 5 votes. Brian Stinker from the Braves had 4 votes. Dave Roberts of the Dodgers had 3, and Oliver Morrow had from the St. Louis Cardinals had 1. So congratulations to everybody. And saying this, we have the National League MVP, because I've said the AL MVP, but I did not say the NL MVP, and it showed up just shortly, just a little bit ago. And Shohei Ohtani won his 3rd MVP award, his first in the National League with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was also an ununanimous winner, taking all 30 first place votes. He is the 2nd person all time behind Frank Robinson to win the MVP award in both leagues, both American and National League. So congratulations to Shohei on his on his accomplishments. So that is it for baseball for right now. I know they're going to have some meetings coming up next month, because obviously we're going to figure out who won the Juan Soto lottery. Is it the Dodgers? Is it the Yankees? I don't think the Mets are going to be in there unless they give them almost $1 billion contract. And that's the sad thing to a point. It's going to be odd to see a player get a large contract for $1 billion, but it's eventually going to happen. I mean, when Nolan Ryan in 1980 got his got $1 million a year contract, and he was the first player to do that. They were like, how high can it go? Well, it got to 100 million, and then 250 million, which Alex Rodriguez was the first person to get that, and now it's 600 million. It's going to be 700 million, and pretty soon it will be $1 billion. They will be making more money than the owners will. So it is very, very interesting on that. So we are done with baseball. So now going to last weekend's games. I went 9-5. Coach 24, Darwin Penny, went 12-2, and he did very well. And Marvin Durant, who I am his sidekick on his podcast, On the Record, through Spotify, so you guys can listen into that. He went 11-3, and then obviously I went 9-5, and then Max Gershon, who does his sports show, The Morning Blitz, in Kobe, Kansas, on 102.5 radio in NWKS radio. He went 9-5 also. So I'm losing ground. So hopefully I can gain it this weekend with a good record. But anyway, so Kansas City goes into Buffalo, and they just had a bad game. The offense was okay. The defense was okay, but it was not good enough because Buffalo just totally just walked all over them. They just had total control of the game, even when the Chiefs had the lead early in the second quarter or late or in the third quarter. Buffalo just came back. Now, saying this, I don't have a problem with the Chiefs losing. Now, did I want them to lose? No, I wanted them to go 17-0. But I knew that they was not going to go 17-0 because it is very, very, very difficult to win every single game. There have been only two teams, at least in the Super Bowl history, that has gone undefeated in the regular season. The Miami Dolphins, who did end up winning the Super Bowl in 1972, and the 2007 New England Patriots. So that is very, very difficult to do. Now, saying this, the Chiefs are going to rebound. They will get better. But saying this, I think they needed this. They finally was struggling in areas, but yet they kept finding ways to win. And that's what great teams always do, is that they find ways to win. And so, so Buffalo had the ball on the last drive, and they knew that they had to score a touchdown, because even if they got into the zone, which they had 4th and 2, instead of just kicking a field goal, they knew that if they did that, then Patrick Mahomes would take the ball down the field, score a touchdown, and then it would make the Kansas City 10-0, and it would have dropped Buffalo 3 games behind and 4 games total because of the fact that the Chiefs had beaten them. Saying that, Josh Allen just ran all over him. The defense those guys, they acted like they did not know how to tackle. But that is a good thing in essence because Steve Spagnuolo was looking at film and he was seeing a whole bunch of stuff that they weren't doing to perform to the top of their level. So now they had this week to study and work on it, and now they will go this week to Carolina and play the Panthers. Now, saying this, the Panthers, they have gotten better. Bryce Young won back-to-back games for the first time in his career, and that was good. But saying that, the Carolina Panthers are still the Carolina Panthers. I mean, they have beaten the Raiders, the Saints, and I can't and I can't believe I think it was the Jets, was it? Do you know? You don't know. So that's my producer for you. He doesn't know nothing, but he does run the show. So, and I can't remember who they played. They played the Giants. That's what it was. It was in Germany. So I knew I would get that eventually. So, but saying that, Kansas City is no longer the number one team in my power rankings, and I'm gonna do my power rankings, and if I'm going to read them off, and if you guys want to see them, go to Facebook and under my profile, and then you can see those. So number one is the Detroit Lions after their very impressive victory, winning 52-6 over Jacksonville. And for the life of me, I do not know why Doug Peterson is still the head coach. Now, they may just wait until the rest of the season and then fire him because maybe they can get the number one pick and then they can get whoever they want. And so maybe that's what they're doing. Number two, the Buffalo Bills. They were number 3 last week. Number 3, I have the Chiefs. Now, I know a lot of professionals who did their power rankings got Chiefs as 4th and 5th. No, they are 3rd. I dropped them only to 3rd. The 4th is the Pittsburgh Steelers after the impressive victory over the Baltimore Ravens. Now, yes, this was the second time this year that they had won a game when they had scored nothing but field goals. In fact, I believe both times they scored 6 field goals. The other time was, I believe, in week 2 at Atlanta against the Falcons. So there's been 4 games this year where there's a team that just scored nothing but field goals, and they are 2-2, and the Steelers are 2-0, and the other 2 are by other teams, and I do not know who they are, and I did not research that. So, but Pittsburgh is number 4. Number 5, Philadelphia Eagles, 8-2. They are quietly playing well. I know in the beginning of the year they struggled, but they seem to get it together. Now, am I going to say that they're going to win the Super Bowl this year? It's hard to say, but I know that they have been playing very, very good football. Number 6, the Los Angeles Chargers at 7-3, and they've got a game this week against brotherly love, Jim Harbaugh versus John Harbaugh for the Baltimore Ravens. So 7 is the Minnesota Vikings. They haven't been playing pretty football, but they are still winning. 8 is the Baltimore Ravens. After their loss, dropping down to 8th with a 7-4 record. Number 9 is the Green Bay Packers, and they've got a game this week against the San Francisco 49ers. Number 10, Arizona. They jumped up 1 spot from last week, even though they didn't play at all. They are still in first place in the NFC West, and they play they go to Seattle and play the Seahawks. Number 11 is the Washington Commanders at 7-4. Number 12, the Denver Broncos after an impressive 38-6 victory over the Atlanta Falcons. 13, Houston Texans after a impressive 34-10 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Number 14 is the Los Angeles Rams, who went into New England, and I thought New England was going to beat the Rams, especially after how the Rams played the week before against the Miami Dolphins. I thought that they would go up to New England and lay an egg, but they did not. They are number 14. Number 15 is the Seattle Seahawks. 16 is the Atlanta Falcons, and they have been struggling lately. They were 6-3 at one point and looked like they were just going to totally just dominate the NFC South, but now they are down to 6-5. Number 17 is Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even though they have a 4-game losing streak, they have at least scored 20 points or more in all 4 of those games, and they've just have not figured out how to pull a victory out. Maybe they will this week, and I don't remember who they playing. Let's see. They are playing the New York Giants. That's a way to get out of a streak, out of a slump, 4-game slump, is to play the Giants. So, and then you've got number 18, the San Francisco 49ers. They have been slumping too. They barely beat the Tampa Bay Bucks, and then they turned around and lost to Seattle, who they have won against like the last 5 times. Brock Purdy was undefeated against the Seattle Seahawks. And then he marked up his first loss against them. And so now they have to go to Green Bay and play the Green Bay Packers, so who they have faced the last couple of times in the playoffs. Number 19 is the Indianapolis Colts, and after going 4-6 and thinking that they were out, they did beat the Jets. And for some reason, I thought the Jets would at least come back and beat, and win a game, but they can't even do that. So they did fire the general manager, which was long overdue. Now you just got to fire the owner, get a new owner in there, get rid of Aaron Rodgers, and maybe they will start playing some decent ball. They have a lot of great players. That's not the issue. The issue is they just can't play. I think they just got a horrible owner. So I just can't figure it out. But anyway, Indianapolis is 19. 20 is Miami. And they have the 3rd easiest schedule in the AFC for the rest of the year at, I believe, 0.405 winning percentage. So if Miami Dolphins, who have never made the playoffs after going 4-6 in their first 10 games, has a shot at making the playoffs. Number 21 is the Cincinnati Bengals, and they are virtually 1 loss away from being completely done. I think they are done because they still got to play Pittsburgh. They got to play Pittsburgh twice, and I cannot see them beating Pittsburgh twice. They do have to play the Cleveland Browns. But saying that, Joe Burrow has had a high-power offense, but the defense has totally just killed them. Number 22, the New Orleans Saints. After struggling and getting rid of their coach, Dennis Allen, they have won with the new coach 2 of the last 3 games, including an impressive 21-point victory over the Cleveland Browns. They are at 4-7. Number 23 is the Chicago Bears. They are at 4-6. They lose due to coaching on a last-second field goal, and this is why there are teams that they need good coaching, because Kansas City the week before used great coaching to get their victory and blocking a field goal to to defeat the Denver Broncos. Well, the Green Bay Packers did the exact same thing to the Chicago Bears. That is the oldest rivalry in football, but it's really not a rivalry because the fact that Matt LaFleur has won the last 11 games against the Chicago Bears. He is 11-0 against the Bears. And the Bears have to go to Lambeau Field to play the Chicago Bears. And here's the other thing. They have the toughest schedule in the NFL to finish the season. So if they have any prayers of making the playoffs, they are going to have to play some really great ball. And playing teams with a combined record of 51-19 is not going to do it. I believe it's a 739 winning percentage. So you got to play Detroit. And I don't know if I think they have to play Detroit twice. They have to play Green Bay. They have to play Minnesota. All those teams have 3 losses or less. So, I mean, they are at a rough shot right now. And, you know, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. 24 is the Dallas Cowboys. And they just seem to keep getting worse and worse. And it was so bad that today Mike McCarthy was doing his press conference, and that light, the windows at AT&T Stadium, where the sun was shined through on him where he couldn't even see doing his press conference for the week. You would have thought that upper management would have used their smarts and figured out a way to do that without him blinding him from the glare of the windows. So that just tells you how bad the Dallas Cowboys are. 25, the New York Jets, and I've talked enough about the New York Jets. I don't need to talk about them anymore. They're 3-7. They are ranked 25th. 26, Carolina Panthers, the Chiefs' opponent for this week. 27, Cleveland Browns, who are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers in about 45 minutes. 28, the New England Patriots, who I thought every time I think that the New England Patriots are going to do something good, they end up blowing it. And here's the ironic thing. They are 0-4 when Mayo, the quarterback, the rookie quarterback, Drake Mayo, throws over 30 passes. He is 2-0 when he throws under 30 passes. So that should tell you something. If you got to totally rely on him throwing a lot of passes, then New England is not going to win. 29, the New York Giants. They are a mess too. They dropped Danny Dimes to the third team quarterback, and then so it would normally move up Drew Lock to the number 1 spot because he was the second team quarterback. No, they moved Tommy DeVito from the third team to the starting quarterback. So this is going to be totally interesting. I don't see, normally when you do something like this, they get energized, they will play well, but I think Tampa Bay is going to shut that down big time. Number 30, Tennessee, 2-8, and they play the Houston Texans, and it's not looking good for the Tennessee Titans. 31. I moved them from the bottom up to 31, and that's the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-8. So, and the reason why I did that is because I dropped Jacksonville Jaguars to 32nd at 2-9 because how bad they played against the Detroit Lions. Yes, it was at Detroit. Yes, Detroit has a powerful offense and a great defense and good special teams. But you gave up the most points in Jacksonville history. And I'm surprised that Doug Peterson was allowed to get on the plane back to Jacksonville. So that is my power rankings. And with that, we are at halftime on any given Sunday. We did go over a little bit. So we are going to take a break, and when we get back, we will talk more football. We will talk more sports. So you are listening to KUAW. All right, we're back for the second half of Any Given Sunday on KUAW. Brian Kress, the awesome voice, Coach 24, Darwin Penny, and DJ Scatter, George Walker. I've got a question for people. So if you guys would like to either text it in, message it in, or even call in, 816-599-6893 is the phone number. Give us a call and give your opinion. And the question is, this is old school NFL. Who is the only NFL quarterback to take two different teams to a Super Bowl, but only start in one. And with that, now there have been several of them that I've thought, but I know that there's at least one and possibly even two. And there is another one, but that's just my bias. So, but I definitely know that he didn't lead the other team to a Super Bowl. But I'm gonna say it anyway. But anyway, call in or text. So hopefully, Mr. Walker will see all those texts so he can tell me so we can get going with that. So, but it should be a good one. So, Kansas City is going to Carolina, and they are going to play the Panthers on Sunday. And so the Chiefs have really played pretty tough. The last few weeks they played Tampa Bay. Even though Tampa Bay is 4-6, they are still a very good team. And those in the 4-game losing streak, they have played teams over 500. So it's not like they've been playing scrubs and losing to them. They have been playing tough teams. And then they played Denver, and Denver is an up-and-coming team. Right now, they are the number 7 seed in the AFC playoff race right now. So, oh, and by the way, Rockstar, hey, guys, I'm still looking for you. I'm going to take a quick sip. I need sponsors. So, so absolutely. But anyway, so the Chiefs, have been playing tough teams lately. They're going to play Carolina, and yes, it's the NFL. It's Any Given Sunday, which is the name of our show, because any given Sunday anybody can win. And I will attest to that in a little bit, definitely. So, but here's the thing for the Chiefs: they are going to get back Isaiah Pacheco and Charles Inimenu. I can't. I've been practicing that name all day, and now I'm totally botching it. But anyway, it gives us a running back, so it gives us another skilled player that we could definitely use, and we bring a defensive lineman, a front lineman, to get to the quarterback, because the fact that the Chiefs, with only 19 sacks, are 26th in the NFL. They're tied for 26 in the NFL in sacks. Now, in comparison, last year they were number 2 in the NFL in quarterback sacks, and they are 20 behind the Denver Broncos, who lead the NFL with 39 sacks. So they need to definitely use this game to try to get better, and maybe, and I know that they're winning games by 1 score or less. I know a lot of people are saying that Patrick Mahomes is no good. I just cannot say that. I just know that Patrick Mahomes right now does not have the skilled players available for him to have the high-flying, high-powered offense like a Detroit, like even the Rams, or the Buffalo Bills. And here's the funny thing: the Buffalo Bills in the offseason was worried, or everybody was worried that Buffalo was done after they lost last year to the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional playoffs. They thought, with Diggs leaving, with Gabe Davis leaving, with everybody leaving, that they were not going to be very good. And right now, they are the second best team in the AFC behind the Chiefs, and they are only 1 game behind them. And if they are tied, they have the tiebreaker. So the Buffalo Bills have been playing well, but saying that, the Chiefs, they need skilled players, and hopefully in the off season they will try to find skilled players, and try to make it a little more high flying and more have Patrick Mahomes scoring a lot of points, because he's really not scoring a lot of points. I mean, he's still virtually in the top, I believe, top 11 in scoring. And I think they are averaging 24 points a game, and they did score 21 points against the Buffalo Bills. But the Chiefs, who had gone 30 games of giving up 27 points or less, gave up 30 points. And that was the first time since the fourth week in 2022. So that was 2 seasons ago that the Chiefs had given up that many points. Yes, look, the Chiefs are not the high-flying team from 2018, 2019, and even 2020. But they find ways to win. They have great coaching. They do have great backup players. You know, when somebody is out, the next person comes in, and they play well. But saying that, we still need to improve, and they know that. But I think playing the Carolina Panthers this week is definitely going to help them ease up, because now they'll have a short week afterwards, and on Friday, on Black Friday, which unfortunately I will be working and I will not be able to watch it. Whether I had Amazon Prime or not, I could at least go to a bar and watch it. They will be playing the Raiders at home, so I know that there will be nobody out there, because everybody will be at Arrowhead Stadium watching the game, having a great time, celebrating Turkey Day. And so, but saying that, I think this is the week that the Chiefs need to get a huge lead and then maybe coast, try to rest up a couple of players, get those other guys in there, get Pacheco in there, get a couple of carries for him. Even if you don't play him and just have Kareem Hunt playing, that will be okay, because you definitely want Pacheco for the rest of the season. Now, the saying that he has been injured since the second week of the season, so he has been well rested and ready to go, and that definitely helps. And Amenahu will also help, and he will be rested. So, and then there is the talk of Hollywood Brown possibly coming back within the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, I mean, if we can start getting players healthy and getting them back and playing, we may start showing people that, don't mess with us. You should have taken full advantage of us when we were down and out, or not necessarily out, when we were down, and taken advantage of it. Say Denver, say Tampa Bay should have gone for the 2-point conversion. So I'm telling you, and this is a week where really there are no good games. Tonight, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland is horrible, but they are playing Pittsburgh. It is the oldest AFC rivalry, 65 years of rivalry for those teams. And I believe it started in like 1959 or something like that. But anyway, they are playing tonight, and I will be giving my prediction in a few moments on who is going to win. But saying this, you have Philadelphia and the Rams. Okay, that's a decent game. You have Baltimore and the Chargers. That is probably the best game of the weekend, and that is on Monday Night Football. So it's not actually on the weekend. It is on the weeknight. And then you've got San Francisco and Green Bay. San Francisco is going down, and Green Bay is getting better. they have played the last 3 games, which Green Bay has won on a last-second field goal. Now, they have won with kicking 2 game-winning field goals and one where they had to line up and block a possible game-winning field goal. So they are 3-0 in that aspect. Excuse me. You have Arizona and Seattle. You have them fighting for first place in the division. And that's roughly about it. I mean, you've got Minnesota going to Chicago. Chicago is getting better, but still, they are not playing well. Tennessee and Houston, I mean, Tennessee is not good. Houston just walloped on Dallas. So the only thing is possibly is maybe a letdown from playing, having a earlier week or a short week to play. And you got New England and Miami. You've got Tampa Bay and Giants. You've got Dallas and Washington. You've got these games that are like, yeah, okay. Now, next week, hopefully it'll be a little bit better. But, so we're done with the NFL, except Thursday Night Football. Now, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. And so, I've got my paperwork here. Yes. Oh, here it is. So anyway, Pittsburgh is on a high right now. They went 8-2. Saying this, the Cleveland Browns, they're playing right now. They're going to play in winter advisory weather, and supposedly I looked it up. It has been snowing since 4:00, and I believe it's 4:00 our Central Time, not Cleveland time, because Cleveland is Eastern Standard Time. And then when the game starts, which is roughly 15-20 minutes from now, is going to start raining. So it is going to be bad weather. Saying this, Cleveland Browns have won since 2017, are 6-0 on Thursday Night Football. So they have won every game on Thursday Night Football since 2017. All of those games were in Cleveland, and tonight's game is in Cleveland. Excuse me. The Pittsburgh Steelers have lost 6 of the last 7 games on Thursday Night Football, especially after on a short week. So they are struggling. Now, the help for the Pittsburgh Steelers is this is Jameis Winston's first NFL game under 40 degrees. He has played every game above 40 degrees in his entire NFL career. This will be the first time that he will play under 40-degree weather. So, and from what I've heard, that his hands are not very big. So saying that, holding a wet ball, he could possibly be inclined to fumbles, which is something that Pittsburgh totally thrives on and gets. I mean, just like last week against the Baltimore Ravens. So, but saying that, I am picking the Cleveland Browns, and I have my Joe Thomas jersey, arguably the best, the best lineman in Cleveland Browns history. He definitely was the best. And so I got the Cleveland Browns winning 17-16 in a low-scoring contest. Now, saying this, Coach 24, Marvin Durant, and Max Gershon all picked the Pittsburgh Steelers. So hopefully I can lone wolf, and I can win the lone wolf, and hopefully we'll benefit from that. So anyway, so Thursday Night Football it's going to be a good one, even though the Cleveland Browns are horrible. But they do not have Deshaun Watson. That definitely helps them out. And so my last tidbit, and I'm not saying that this is penny for your thoughts or anything else, but I want to talk about that Mike Tyson fight. But first, I want to say the fight before then was a pretty good one. It was Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. And I cannot believe that Katie Taylor ended up winning that fight. Serrano actually did better than her, but Katie Taylor just kept headbutting Serrano so bad that her eye, above her eye, would get swollen, and then blood would come down into the eye, and they had to every time the last 3 rounds they had to fix that eye to get her back. And even in the 7th, is it the 7th round? It was the 6th round, where they had to deduct a point from Katie Taylor to because the fact that she kept headbutting. She lost a point from the headbutt. And so, but anyway, Serrano should have won. Katie Taylor ended up winning, and they're probably going to talk about doing another, the third, Taylor versus Serrano the third. But anyway, but Mike Tyson, I watched that fight, and I remember watching Mike Tyson from the time that he first started out. Mike Tyson and I are the same age. I think I am actually a little bit older, but I'm not going to brag about that. But saying that, I watched Mike Tyson when he was just destroying opponents left and right. And so something I did not know until well after the fight was that he was in the hospital. I had completely forgotten that. He had lost 25 pounds. He was trying to get into shape to make this fight for Jake Paul. That was the reason why they postponed the fight from, I believe it was like August or September to November. And so, but watching Mike Tyson, and there is a reason why Father Time is undefeated, and there is a reason why 58-year-old men do not go into a ring and fight. Jake Paul actually, I was watching him a little, the pre-game, hype and all that of him, and you could see the arrogancy that he had in him. He let up on Mike Tyson because he could have destroyed Mike Tyson, and instead he valued his reputation and gave him the benefit of the doubt, even though that Mike Tyson barely won. I think he won maybe the first 2 rounds, probably maybe even the first round, but after that, I mean, the first 4 rounds he was okay, but those last 4 rounds he just could not even function. And the fact that Jake Paul did not just totally tear into him just gave me more respect for Jake Paul. But Mike Tyson, I love you, man. I used to love watching you fight, but please do not ever get back into a ring. And with that, I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice, and this is the end of Any Given Sunday on KUAW. Now, we will not be here next Thursday because it is Turkey Day. So we are not coming in here doing no special show, even though Coach 24 said, hey, I would be in to do a show. And we had to tell him, no, there's no show.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Oh, there you are. Yep, gobble, gobble. So anyway, so there is no show next week. And that will be the end of November. So we will have one more month in the year 2024. And with that, with my brother with another mother, Coach 24, soaking his, getting us nice suntan in Hawaii, and DJ Scatter, George Walker, the producer and the man who runs the show. I am Brian Kress, the awesome voice. Be awesome, not angry, and you guys have yourself a phenomenal football weekend. And happy Thanksgiving.